Hey, I need my mic. Where my mic? There, my mic. Menma. Hello. Welcome. I can't believe you're here. That's amazing. It must be, like, ridiculously late for you. Isn't it the middle of the bloody night where you are? I think it's the middle of the night where you are. Let's move that a little bit. Oh, can I do that without donking my camera? I don't know. Hello, Marie. You're having a very exciting day. Yeah, Jammy Dodgers is, she decided to curl up behind me on the chair. And Budgie, I think, is sleeping on the bed at the moment. You know what? Maybe I can, let me see if I can get the camera aimed at Jammy Dodgers without it being just like a full fucking shot of my ass. Hang on. Let's see. Let's see. Now, if I can... Hello? Jimmy, you're too... I need something to boost the height here. Hang on, I'm working on it. Let's see here. Now, if I... It is just a shot of my butt, isn't it? But there's a kitty in there. Hang on. Let me get the cat's up display. There she is. Hello? Oh, what a good Jammy Dodgers. What a good girl. Jammy. What's you doing? What's going on over here? She's not super cooperative. Your client was in denial that she's in labor? Well, that probably isn't going to last very long. Jammy, here, let me see if I can just move this. There we go. That's at least a little bit better. Joe, you just finished a smush marble for a collab. We haven't really quite started yet because I had to rearrange the cat cam so that y'all could see Jammy because she decided to sit behind me tonight. You won a raffle. The prize was a grant for a client to use. And they were upset that a doula won it instead of a family? Well, that's stupid. They should have been clear. Ack! Just gonna drop stuff, no worries. Yeah. I had to do a little rearrangement of the cat cam so that y'all could see her. It would be better if I could get it higher up, but I'm not sure I have a great way to do that without creating some sort of terrifying leaning tower. Let me see, maybe if I put... Alright, hold up. We're gonna try something. Up and then aiming that down a little bit. Whoop, whoop. Guess that's a bit better, right? Sorry. I know this is kind of jostling a little bit. Trying not to shake it too much while I adjust it, but all right. That's slightly better. What a good girl she is. All right, so smush butt cat. Yeah, we when she sleeps like this, we call her butt dodgers. She's being a butt dodgers. But when Cinnamon does it, which she doesn't do very often, she's a Cinnabutton. I don't think that Budgie Smuggler has ever done it though. But if she did, it would be Budgie Snuggler. Yeah. All right. So, hello, welcome, Rax. And welcome also, if anybody that I did not specifically address, I think I missed saying hello to Najwa and Jem and Ray. Hello, hello, and hopefully I didn't miss anybody else. But if I did, hello. So the deal tonight is unicorns. We're talking unicorns tonight. It's not going to be a stream all about Jammy Dodgers and how cute she is. Although that's always a good topic. Yeah, so the deal tonight is we're going to go over the Arcana Lacquer Something Magical collection. So this is a collection that I was paid to produce swatch photos for. The stream itself is not sponsored. They don't pay me to produce like other or to post other content or anything like that. It's just the photos that I was paid for. So obviously that means I received the polishes for free. So that's the disclosure, and I'll try and remember to repeat that a couple of times later on during this stream, so that any late people know the deal as well. But yeah, Najwa, I am sitting rather forward, but I'm also quite used to it. Brian and I are both very used to sitting quite forward in our seats because this is Jammy's usual thing. She likes to just always have the option to climb up there. And of course the deal is that if you've got a Jammy Dodgers behind you, you have to reach back occasionally and pet her. Which it turns out is also really good shoulder therapy for my frozen shoulder. And also for Brian was having a bit of a neck and shoulder issue for a while as well, and found that petting Jammy actively helped it. So, all right. So, shall we? I'll keep Jammy in the corner, but we'll head over to the collection. So I did bring out a few of my little. I have a lot of unicorns. I have not as many unicorns as bugs, but a lot of unicorns. So I did have to bring a few of them out for this, just to. And also, I tried to make a little. Hang on, I tried to make a little unicorn on my reversible sequin thing for this stream, just because it seemed silly and stupid. Marie, you say you want like 4 of the polishes. You might want more by the time we're done with this, but we'll see. So I'm just gonna move. Oh, I guess I can't really put stuff on there because it's gonna be in the way of the cat cam. Okay. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to swatch them all on a swatch wheel. And we'll do both cat eye and velvet for the 2 magnetics in the collection. But I will also do I'll do 10 of them on my nails. One of them definitely has to be the one thermal in the collection, because that's difficult to show on a swatch stick. But the rest we'll just have to decide as we go which ones go on my nails and which ones do not. The black unicorn show it better. Hang on. This was a Halloween addition to my stupid... I have a collection of ridiculous skeletons. Mostly like things that don't actually have skeletons, like bugs. But yeah, I needed to get this one when I saw it as well. Okay, so the collection, the official launch is tomorrow. So that's Friday, March 14th at, I think it's at 6 p.m. Eastern. That's when they usually do their launches. So it is another 12-piece collection. Arcana loves to murder us with the 12-piece collections of gorgeousness, so it's impossible to avoid loving at least one or two of them. So the idea behind the collection is that they're all imagined unicorn types, right? So various different sort of ideas for where different kinds of unicorns might evolve or appear magically, who knows, and live. And so they got very silly with these. And personally, I think the whole collection is hysterical. So we have two magnetics, which are this one, and then this one here, which you can't see because it is under this. This one here is the thermal, which is also neon, which is fascinating. I've never seen a thermal neon before. I'm sure that other people have done them probably, but yeah, I've never seen one before, so I thought that was pretty fun. So this one obviously does have to go on my nails because thermal. Other than that, I do want to put Tropicorn on my nails because this is the sheerest one in the collection, and I think it's good to see it on natural nails as well as on the swatch wheel, so you get a good idea of how sheer it is and how it builds. Most of these, I think, if you have short nails or you don't mind visible nail line, you could maybe get away with 2 coats. If you want them fully opaque, you're going to have to do 3 for most of these, or a blurring base. This one is not going to be opaque in 3. Just as a heads up, it is more sheer than the others. So those 2 I will definitely do on my nails. I think the ones that I might skip on my nails, even though I adore them, are probably going to be the Cosmocorn, because this is one that it is what it says on the bottle, you know, like it looks like a gorgeous deep starry sky, and it applies beautifully, and this is one of the ones that you can definitely wear in 2 coats. So I feel like it's less valuable showing that one on the nail. If I have to sacrifice 2, that will be one of them. And I think probably Floracorn would be the other one for similar reasons. I do think most people will probably want to wear this one in 3 coats, although maybe 2, depending on your tastes. But it's, it's an easy application and builds up nicely and whatnot. And I think seeing it on the swatch wheel will be good enough. So we'll have those 2 not on my nails, and we'll do the rest on my nails. So that's the plan. Now I've gone and put them out of order. So that one we are doing. I'm just going to rearrange them here so that I know the order and which ones I am doing on my nails and which ones I am not. That, and then that one, that one's next. And then I think Gothicorn and Mysticorn and Sweetcorn. Okay, so yes, new tattoos. They are in the scabby, icky sort of phase right now, and I got a really nice rash from the the wrap. Sometimes I get a rash from it, sometimes I don't, and I don't know if it's like different brands that affect me and others don't, or if it's something else. But yeah, real fun. So yeah, we're all scabby and itchy right now, but hopefully it'll look nice, you know, once it's all done healing up. So let's jump right in. So Volcanicorn, this one is obviously inspired by the idea of unicorns that live in volcanoes. They're like, you know, I imagine them having, you know, fire from their hooves and whatnot. Sort of I actually kind of imagine them a little bit like a ponytail kind of thing. Maybe that's just because I have Pokemon on the brain. But yeah, this one, like a lot of heavy-duty shimmer polishes, the first coat goes on a little streaky. But I found that in the second coat, it evened up really nicely. And if you'd like to focus, please. And yeah, I built this one up in 3 coats personally, really liked it like that. And that's how I will do it today as well. I'm going to start on my right hand because I want to make sure that when we get to my, to the thermal, which is the very last one, I have one of my longer nails to show that. You were going to say it's like a Rapidash? Yeah. Yeah. Fire-breathing unicorn. I think it's a fun concept. Yeah, they did shave my arm before the tattoo, but that's been the case for every tattoo I've had. And, you know, like I said, sometimes I have a rash and sometimes I don't. And I know that I am sensitive to some medical adhesives. So, you know, it might be that, like, whatever brand they're using is one that has something in it that I'm sensitive to. So there's the first coat. And you can see, well, if it decides to focus, you'll be able to see. Hello, would you like to? No, you don't want to? Okay. So hopefully you can see reasonably well there that it is a little bit streaky in that first coat. I've come to expect this from shimmers. For me, I consider that to be normal. Especially these like darker shimmers. They're just kind of always like that in my mind. So if they're super packed, there's often a little bit of that. So that one's Volcanicorn. This one is Floracorn, which is based on the idea of unicorns that live in a field of flowers. And for me, this one, the color and the flaky, it really reminds me of a specific color of hibiscus flower that my mom had these beautiful hibiscus bushes. They always produced the double flowers on them, and so this color really makes me think of those and of my mom. So I really like this one. All right, and then the third one we have is Faericorn. That's spelt the proper way for fairy, in my opinion. Just the only opinion that matters because it's my live stream. So there's 2 light pinks in this collection, Faericorn and Babicorn. And you'll see, I think, if you look at them side by side, I think it's pretty evident what the differences are. Like this one, Faericorn, is very much a sort of cooler leaning pink with a sort of green-blue shimmer. Actually, let me see what they say the shimmer is. I believe it's a green shimmer, but yeah, they say green to purple shimmer. So it's quite a bit different. The Babicorn is very much a warmer toned base pink to begin with, and then also has a warmer shimmer in it. So I'll have those side by side, both on the wheel and on my nails, so you'll be able to see the difference. And if you see the the bottles side by side as well. Like the Faericorn almost leans into well, it's not quite leaning into magenta, but it's definitely a much cooler pink than the Babicorn. Even without the shimmer, the base itself is a much cooler pink. So Ruby, Ruby, welcome. We've found out what your YouTube name is. Love that for you. Okay, so this one's Babicorn. And from the name, you might be able to guess that they're inspired here by baby unicorns. Because, of course, unicorns start out as babies, just like everybody else. We want this on this now. Even bugs start out as babies. All right, so there's those two side by side. And that's just the first coat, but I feel like it's already pretty clear that they're quite different colors. At least to me. Hopefully you can see it in the camera as well. I know that's going to depend on what you're watching it on and whatnot, but all right. Now we get into the tropical ones that I like to think of as the tropical ones. So these three here, to me, are very much like, this is my island vacation trio right here. This one's Myrmicorn. That's the magnetic, one of the two magnetics in the collection. Tropicorn, this is the one that's quite a bit sheerer. And Citracorn, which, you know, obviously very coral sort of toned. So I really like these three together. I think they would make a really fun mani, just the three of them. But yeah, they feel very tropical to me, all three. So first coat of Citracorn, and this one they say is inspired by, I think they specifically said grapefruit, and to me it just like, it really makes me think of like a fancy cocktail with an umbrella, like that you're drinking on the beach, you know, something fruity. So you'll see, like, we have a lot of pinks going on here. These are going to really distinguish themselves as we build up the coats. Now, Tropicorn, this is the one that, as I was saying, this is like the sheerest one in the collection. So this, or at least I feel that it is the sheerest in the collection. This one, you definitely are going to want to build it up. If you hate blurring, or if you hate visible nail line, you might want to use a blurring base with it. And I'll show you, it actually looks more opaque on the clear than I feel like it looks on my nails. But maybe that's just me. I felt like this one was significantly sheerer than the other guys in the collection. It is really beautiful, delicate look, and I actually like it in one coat, and I like it in two coats, but you know, it obviously you're going to have visible nail line with it, and even in three coats, I had a little bit of visible nail line. Najwa, you have to go catch an angry flying thing with a stinger. Good luck. Godspeed. Yeah, and so I forgot to mention the inspiration for this one is unicorns that live on tropical islands and wander around tropical islands. So it's a fun one. All right, next up is Myrmicorn. This is our first magnetic of two. And I am going to I'm going to show it both velvet style and cat eye style on the This is called a swatch ring. My brain is doing really well. I think I'm going to use one of these, even though I don't like it as much. It is easier to deal with for the swatch wheel. So we'll go cat eye first, and this one, the base for this is quite a sheer jelly. It sort of ends up having like a candy-like quality once it's built up, because especially with the cat eye, I think, because the base for it is it doesn't really blur very much. It's very much like a syrupy jelly kind of, rather than a milky jelly kind of base. So you have definitely, if you're going to use like a cat eye style, you're 100% going to have visible nail line in the area where the pigment is cleared, or where the magnetic pigment is cleared. Personally, I really like it though. Like I love this look for these ones. This type of magnetic I think is really fun. It always looks like candy to me. But yeah, if you don't like visible nail line, I would suggest this one is also beautiful in velvet, and you don't really see it as much with the velvet, because, you know, a lot of the time you're going to be seeing the magnetic pigment. So either that or using a blurring base, or, you know, putting it over a similarly colored base. All right. I should do this on my nail while we're waiting for that to dry off a bit. That was foolish of me. Honestly, what did I think was going to happen? I really need to glue these in. One of these days, I'm going to remember to glue those in before I start a stream. Today is not that day. Okay. We're going to try again. We're going to set this over to the other side. Honestly, you'd think it was my first time. Ruby, I swear, every single time I use these things on a stream, I somehow manage to make one of them go flying. All right, I'm doing this one velvet on myself, because I feel like it. I have no better reason. I just like it that way. This one I like velvet. The other one, the other magnetic in this collection, I actually prefer cat eye or with a ring magnet, because the flakies in it are incredibly fun. But this one I prefer velvet. Wee, magnets go zoom zoom. Yes, Ray. You ran a wand over your horseshoe the other day? Yikes. Yeah, shit happens. When you're using multiple magnets at the same time, it's gonna happen. It's a pain in the ass, and you always feel silly when you do it, but what are you gonna do? All right, that's probably good enough. And then get hopefully this won't mess up the cat eye too much. It should be dry enough, I think. That will be okay. So there are also flakes in this one. They're just a little sparser. So this one, I don't think I told you the inspiration for this one either. So this is unicorns that have adapted to living underwater, with mermaids, obviously. So Mermicorn, so it's got the pink to purple and green to blue flakes. And the magnetic pigment is described as a silver/pastel purple. I don't think that I've seen it looking pastel purple to my eye. It always kind of just looks more silvery blue. But that might just be my brain and my lighting. But But yeah, gorgeous. I love this one. This is obviously one of my favorites in the collection because it's magnetic and it's teal. So, you know, teal magnetic. There's no way I'm not going to love that. And of course, you know, Arcana does some very, very nice magnetics. Hear me out. What if we put horns on seahorses? I mean, so leafy sea dragons already have, you know, some pretty majestic, you know, growths, protuberances, sort of all down like the head and the back and out the sides and whatnot. So I think that we might already kind of have that. But yeah, we could get little, like, just 3D print some itty bitty little unicorn horns and glue them on there. That could be fun. All right, so there's the first coat of Myrmicorn with cat eye and velvet style. All right, next up is Stormicorn, and for this we will be moving over to the other hand. Well, we'll do the wheel first. So Stormicorn, this one is based on the idea of unicorns that are basically Poseidon's little minions. So Poseidon, besides being the god of the ocean, which I think most people know him best for, was also a god of storms, particularly storms at sea. So that's why Stormicorn for this are these little mermaid buddies, or not mermaid buddies, unicorn buddies. So there's the first coat of that. And I think I will go to my, yeah, let's go to the pinky here. Oh, and that was a little bit too much. So this one has, besides the obvious flakes, it does have a purple shimmer in it. Let me see the description here. Purple to red shimmer, green to purple magnetic flake, or metallic flakes rather, and purple reflective glitter. I don't know if you can see the reflective in, let me see. Yeah, you can see a little bit around the edges. Get that reflective. There's a few of them in here that have some reflective in them. Yeah, sea dragons. Sea dragons are great. They're basically Myrmicorns, I think. Okay, Cosmicorn. This one I'm not doing on my nails. So this one's just going on the wheel, and I am in love with this one. It really does vibe to me like deep space, sort of inspiration. So this is inspired by unicorns that travel the cosmos. And obviously it looks pretty pale right now, but when it's built up, it is such a lovely, deep, sparkly blue, and it's got these wonderful flakes in it. So the flakes in this are pink to purple, and it's got also a micro hollow flake. So it's very, very sparkly, especially in the sun. It goes absolutely nuts in the sun. It's just real pretty. I really love this one. This is another of my favorites from the collection. Of course, I'm a sucker for blues in general, but... next up is Gothicorn. And I really like Gothicorn. And listen, it's purple. It's a purple jelly. It's a purple jelly. It does have a red to orange shimmer, which I think is part of why I like it so much, because, you know, me and purples. But yeah, one of my favorite polishes in this collection is a purple. I feel Jammy moving around behind me here. What's going on, Jams? What are you doing? Are you just rearranging? Yeah, she was just rearranging. All right, so Gothicorn, purple jelly, red to orange shimmer, holographic microflakes, and black flakes. And two things that I historically don't love in polish are purple as the dominant color, and black flakes. And yet, I love this polish. I really, really like this one. I think it's super fun. I think it's going to be a very popular one too. It's just real pretty. And I think it perfectly fits the goth naming. Makes me happy. All right, so we'll put this one here. Dun, 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 dun. Did I skip one on my nails somehow? I did. I accidentally skipped putting Citracorn on my nails. I just realized, because I'm like, I have too many nails left over. Why do I have too many nails left over? It's because I forgot to paint on Citracorn. So I'll just do that on my thumb. Because apparently I'm an idiot. I just gotta do a little clean up here. I managed to get some way around here at the sides. Doing a very good job as always. All right, let me just throw Citracorn here on my thumb. I feel like I should apologize to it for having it be out of order, but oh well. All right. Okay. The next magnetic. This is the second magnetic in the collection, and it's purple, and it's also one of my favorites in the collection. I know. I don't know what to tell you. They're good. They're good purples. I am still not broadly a purple girl, but, you know, if you're going to make an extraordinarily good purple, I'm going to like it. Especially when we're talking about a magnetic. You know I'm a sucker for a magnetic. Plus it's flaky, it's gorgeous. So Mysticorn, light lilac with red orange, orange yellow, yellow green, green blue, pink, pink purple, and silver flakes, and the holographic magnetic pigment that we know and love from Shrimp and the Magician. So, despite it being a purple, I'm forgiving it because it has an absolute rainbow of flakes in it. Yes, Jammy is snoring. Yeah, Ruby, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you know I don't love purples, but if one impresses me, I gotta be honest, it's pretty fucking good. I really, every once in a while, I find one I really like. Rename that purple Sassicorn for you. Which one, the magnetic or the goth one? I feel like you're more of the goth one. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, Marie? Okay, let's do this one carefully out of the way of that other magnet. Do not want to get it close. There we go. You heard Shrimp, but you were thinking about a Sassicorn. Yeah, so the magnetic purple that I am currently swatching, is something of a Shrimp sibling-ish cousin. I don't know. It has the hollow magnetic pigment in it. So the same one from Shrimp and the same one from the Magician and all the other ones that they've put out that I can't remember the names of. There have been a bunch now that have this hollow magnetic pigment in them. So that's this one. That's the first coat there. This one's Mysticorn. And I think part of the reason why I like it so much, besides the hollow magnetic pigment, which I adore, is the rainbow of flakes in it. I really like the rainbow of flakes. Now I'm doing this one in velvet. I probably really should be doing this one on my nail with the... I might actually switch in later coats. If I remember, I might switch to using the ring magnet for this one, because I really, really like this one done more cat eye / ring, because it lets you see the flakes a little better. I do think like the pull is a little softer with this than it is with Myrmicorn. So the cat eye line that you get with the hollow magnetic is not quite as crisp. But I kind of think that's a positive in a lot of ways, because you want a certain amount of dispersal of that hollow. Like you can definitely get a nice, nice line with it. It's just not quite as tight as the line that I get out of a lot of other magnetic pigments, like the Myrmicorn one. These like silvery magnetic pigments tend to be very, very crisp, to the point of almost looking harsh sometimes, which I'm personally a fan of. I really like the super crisp line, but yeah, something to be aware of. Just so you have reasonable expectations for what the line is going to look like. But if you've been using, if you have the Magician or Shrimp or one of the other hollow magnetic polishes from them, then you already know what to expect. All right, let that be that for a little bit. And then the next one, the last one, is Sweetycorn. So Sweetycorn is unicorns that spread love and sweetness. Oh, I didn't tell you, the Mysticorn, this is inspired by rainbow unicorns. So that's what I consider to be the bog standard unicorn, is the rainbow unicorn. That one. Okay. But yeah, so Sweetycorn, unicorns that spread love and sweetness. And this one's a really fun one, because... and you're not going to be able to tell so much on the swatch ring, which is why I am going to also swatch it on my finger. But it is in the cool, or in the warm state rather, it is neon. So the cool state, it loses the neonness. But yeah, when it's warm, it is neon, and the neon is like, the pigment looks pink, like on your nail it looks pink, but under black light it is orange, which is kind of fun. Did not do a very good job of application there, but that's okay. That's me, not the polish. The polish applies just fine. I did not have any issues with it when I was swatching it, not for an audience. So we'll see the transition there. You can see the pink to purple thermal. Of course, will become even more obvious as it gets built up. Oh, Menma, time for bed. All right. Good night. Sleep well. You'll have to catch the VOD. Okay, so we will go back to the start and do a second coat of everything. If there are any polishes that you want to see comparisons for, now would be a good time to ask about those. I do have most of Arcana's polishes. Not all, but most. There's second coat of Volcanicorn. I really love this red. I think it is just a really good fiery red. I think it's a good, like, all-season red, too. Like, I don't typically wear red, like, maybe not so much for summer. At least that's just my personal taste. But, like, I feel like with the right kind of red, you can sort of span everything from autumn through Christmas into the early spring quite nicely, if you're a seasonal wearer. And if you're not, like me, then who cares? You like what you like. All right, second coat of Floracorn. And see, you can see here, like, that's 2 coats on my shorter nails. I would be completely fine with wearing it like this. On the longer nails, I prefer to have 1 more coat just to be absolutely sure I'm not going to have any visible nail line. Mostly because when it comes to especially darker or more saturated polishes, I tend to not be a huge fan of seeing visible nail line on myself. Although it does depend. There's Floracorn, which I am not putting on my nails. That's one of the ones that we are sacrificing because I don't have 12 fingers. I am not AI. But yeah, this one, I think, you know, unless you do super thin coats, you should be able to get away with 2 coats of this. But yeah, if you do thin application, then you might want a 3rd coat. Najwa, you really like Volcanicorn? Yeah, I think it's gorgeous. Okay, Faericorn. This is the cooler pink of the 2 light pinks. Jammy is just really snoring. So it's got that nice blue-green shimmer. Come on. Would you please? You don't wanna? What if I ask nicely? There we go. All right, so there's the second coat of that. That one I think most people will probably want a 3rd coat of, although if you like a more sort of ethereal look, it does apply more than smoothly enough for you to be able to do... I did not put a 2nd coat on my finger. Jeez. Jeez Louise. But yeah, if you're a person who likes a sort of sheer shimmery polish and you're not concerned about visible nail line, I think that looks quite nice in 2 coats. You can see some visible nail line for sure, but it is pretty like this, and that visible nail line almost completely goes away with the 3rd coat, at least for me. Second coat of Babicorn. This one is the cooler of the 2, and this one also, the shimmer I think is a finer particle. It's not quite in the pearlescent realm, but it sort of borders on pearlescent to my eye. You can see it's like the Faericorn shimmer is a little bit more like sparkly, and the Babicorn is sort of a smoother, almost pearlescent shimmer. As well as, of course, being significantly warmer pink with a warm shimmer instead of a cool pink with a cool shimmer. Oops, a little too much. There we go. And again, a little bit of visible nail line with just 2 coats. Not extreme. I think a lot of people would be happy with that. I certainly would be happy with that. But if you hate visible nail line, get that 3rd coat on. Citracorn. This is our grapefruit friend. I think of fruity tropical beverages on the beach with this one. Much more of a coral tone to this one. I would not quite categorize this as a pink. To me, this is more, it's too coral to be called a pink in my mind. I guess you could call it salmon, maybe. I think they might call it salmon, actually. Yeah, they call it salmon. A creamy salmon base with glowy orange shimmer. All right, and then Tropicorn. This, I think, is the aqua shimmer that Ruby is talking about. Warm pinks are your jam? Yeah, pinks, I'm picky about pinks. I really, really love the pinks that I love, and I really get the ick from pinks that I don't love. And on average, I definitely tend to go much more strongly for warmer pinks. In general, the cool pinks don't do it for me. So there's the second coat of Tropicorn. And second coat on me. And I don't know why, like, it looks about the same opacity as the others on the swatch ring, but for me, on my nail, it feels more sheer than the others. And I don't know if that's just like something about my skin tone that makes me feel that way. Like the way that I feel like you can see my nail line much more easily, even though it on the swatch ring, it looks like the opacity is quite similar to the others. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but something I noticed. Anyway, I really like this one, but I definitely prefer it personally in 3 coats. All right. And now second coat for Myrmicorn, the first of our 2 magnetics. So this will be our cat eye. And again, we get that really candy-like quality. I'll have to hold that up once it's had a chance to dry a little bit. But gotta get that magnetic set before I lift it up. And I'm gonna do velvet on my pinky for this one. And I just freaking stuck my finger in my Tropicorn. My brain wanted to say Tropicanicorn, which is not the name of the polish. All right, I'm gonna have to see if I can fix this Tropicorn. Maybe I can carefully mush it down into place a little bit and then use the magic effect top coat to settle it a little. And then hopefully the third coat will do the rest. So it's at least reasonable looking. I manage to ding my nails fairly frequently when I'm painting my nails. I try to be careful, but I'm an idiot, so you know, shit happens. Okay, there's the second coat of Myrmicorn in Cat Eye. So you can see that it is fairly sheer in the area that the magnetic has been cleared from. So it's got that like candy-like sort of syrupy quality to it, which lets those flakes really shine through. Personally, I think it's beautiful, but I do really like this one in velvet as well. So we'll do velvet also on here, but I will also hold it up to the camera on my pinky so you can see it there as well. Najwa, you're the same. Your nails haven't been painted if you haven't bonked or dinged at least once. Yeah, seriously. All right, so there's the velvet in 2 coats, Myrmicorn. So the flakes in this magnetic are a little sparser than the flakes in the other magnetic. The other magnetic is like packed with flakes. This one, it's definitely more of like an accent that peeks through, and I really love this done in velvet. For me, that's where Myrmicorn shines, is in the velvet look. But it's also beautiful and done in Cat Eye. So, all right, so there it is on the ring, side by side. Really gorgeous. All right, I'm gonna set that aside. I just want to do a quick little, try and get this slightly less obviously mucked up. Ugh, and there was a flake in it from something else. Hopefully this will help make it a little less obvious once we get that third coat on there. So when I get a smudge, the way I use the DRK stuff is I'll kind of try and smush stuff into place a little better with my finger, and then add the DRK Magic Effect top coat, and then smoosh stuff a little bit more. And then do another coat on top of it. And often, but not always, that helps. It does require a little bit of, you know, finagling. Good enough. I think it's slightly better than it was. All right, beverage break. Let's take a jammy break as well here. Hang on. Put the cat's up display. What a good girl she is. Such a good jammy Dodgers. Okay. Back at it. All right. Next we have Stormicorn. You've got Tropical 7-Up tonight for stream. I've never had Tropical 7-Up. I've never heard of Tropical 7-Up. What the hell is Tropical 7-Up? I mean, I assume it's a flavor of 7-Up. Just a guess. Okay, second coat of Cosmicorn. Sorry, not Cosmicorn. Stormicorn, rather. Brain is not braining. And this one I have on my pinky. Waiting to find out what Tropical 7-Up is. there's a fairly lengthy delay between when I say something and when y'all hear it. It's new? Well, there you go. Is it like I just frickin' dinged that. Like instantly. I dinged my nail. You can't even see it. See that on my finger? Honestly. I'm just gonna go ahead and do a tiny little... Just zhuzh that corner up a little. There we go. Orange and peach flavored 7-Up. I don't know how I feel about that. Because isn't 7-Up like lemon lime? So is it lemon lime with orange and peach, or is it just orange and peach? Yes. Yes, my hands have to maneuver around too many things, but you know, you'd think I would be used to that by now. Like, I've been doing this. I've been doing this for a minute. All right, there's second coat of Cosmicorn. It looks so much sheerer on the swatch wheel than it does on my nails. But like, if you look at it with something behind it, like your nails would be, it's very sparkly. Will you focus? Oh yeah. So pretty. I love this one. And yeah, this one I wore in 3 coats. I think if you have short nails or you like visible nail line, 2 coats is good. But if you're more like me, you're probably going to want 3 coats of that one. I tend to default to 3 coats for most things. It's pretty rare for me to wear anything in 2 coats. So it's kind of just how I tend to like to wear things. I always feel like a little bit weird if my nail polish is too thin, you know? Sounds like it's made to go in a mimosa. The orange and peach flavored 7-Up. You don't taste lemon at all. It tastes like a non-alcoholic beach drink. Interesting. Well, maybe I'll have to try it then. I don't tend to drink sodas in general. It's pretty rare. But, you know, once in a while. All right, there's our second coat of Gothicorn. Ruby, that blue just hits. Yeah, I really love that one. It's like a sapphire blue base. It's absolutely gorgeous. So there's Gothicorn in 2 coats. Super fun one. I really like this. I love the shimmer in this one. All right. I put that away before I put it on my nail because I'm doing such a good job of remembering what I'm doing tonight. All right, Gothicorn. So again, with this one, if you have shorter nails, you are probably going to be just fine with 2 coats. I feel like that's the case for a lot of this collection. I personally prefer it with 3, especially with the longer nails. You love Gothicorn, Rax? Yeah, I really love this one. I mean, I am kind of a sucker for vampy stuff, so it's not that surprising, even though it is purple. All right, second coat of Mystic Corn. This is the one with, I believe, 7 different kinds of flakies, 7 different colors of flakies in it. Plus the hollow magnetic pigment. And I think I had done the first coat velvet, but I think I'm actually going to switch over to the ring magnet because that is my preferred, if I can get it to unstick itself from the board. Oh, there we go. That is my preferred method for this particular polish. I think it looks nicest cat eye, and I personally prefer swoopy cat eye that you get from the swoopy cat eye that you get from a ring magnet to the straight across cat eye that you get from just a bar or wand. So this is just a preference thing. It's not because the ring necessarily works better than a regular cat eye, you know, wand or bar magnet. This is just, I just like swooshes. I like swooshes. I think swooshes are pretty, so I'm doing swooshes. Can I compare Gothicorn next to, I can't read what's, because it's behind a thing. I'll read it in a second when I can. Oh, Royal Court, okay. Yes. Sassycorn looks great on me, thanks. Sassycorn, of course, being Marie's unofficial name for Mysticorn, the one that I am currently magnetizing. Apparently, Marie needs to have this one. My hair is driving me crazy. Okay. There it is. So you see how, like, when you've got it done in the cat eye style, the flakes really pop out in the cleared area? And because there's so many flakes in this one, I really, really love it. It makes me very happy. Okay, so let me find Royal Court. Actually, yeah, let me just, I'll get the velvet one of this going while I dig up Royal Court. Is Royal Court the one that was the thermal? I feel like that was the thermal. Oy. Okay. No, that was Drops of Ink that I'm thinking of. Which one's Royal Court? There it is. I found Royal Court. I was thinking you meant the Drops of Ink, the thermal. Okay. Royal Court, quite a bit different. So, first of all, the Royal Court has this extremely red shimmer, as opposed to, or sort of like orangey, a very orangey red. There we go. Very orangey red shimmer in the Royal Court, and more of a magenta in the Gothicorn, so a warmer red. And of course, the Royal Court does not have the flakes in it, but I will throw the Royal Court on here. And we'll probably have to do a couple of coats of that to give you an idea. So I think even if you like used a black flaky topper and a hollow flake topper, I don't think it would be quite the same because they do have a little different base color. Here, let me put it right next to it. You could probably get sort of close if you wanted to try to dupe it and you had Royal Court, but it's definitely going to be a little different. Royal Court is much more red in its overall impact. What other reds I thought were similar to Volcanicorn? Let me swatch Sweetie Corn. and think about that. Does Arcana have... I'm trying to think if Arcana has another red that I think is similar to that. I can think of a couple from other brands. All right, let's get this on here. Of course, my brain does not like to come up with actual names of anything in the moment, but let me run over to my... rack. So there's the thermal Sweetie-corn. I just stuck my finger in the Gothicorn. So you can see quite a bit of a difference with the color. And if I can get my black light, hopefully you can see the neon in this. It's hard to tell in this lighting, but also, oh boy, it's really making the camera go a little bit wonky, isn't it? But yeah, it's sort of got an orange neon under black light. You think it's similar to Orly Cranberry Believe It? I don't have any Orly. I have 0 Orly. Let's see. I think we can look at it next to Lash of Baal. I think Harvesting Hope is quite different. Yeah, I don't think anything that I have, like this might be the closest, Lash of Baal, which is a magnetic. Oof, sorry, Jams. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so Lash of Baal is one of their magnetics. It's a you can't see that. It's a similar hue range though, so unmagnetized we can see how similar it looks. It's definitely not going to be a total dupe. It's more of a, yeah, it's more of a bricky red. I think it might be more similar to, there's like a BCB that I have that I think is maybe a little more similar, but I think in the Arcanas, it's pretty unique to their colors. But yeah, so that's Lash of Baal, unmagnetized, just one coat. Hello, would you like to? And that's probably the most similar in their collection. Much more bricky. Yeah, Slug Bug. It might be close to a Dum. Perhaps a Christmas Gourd. You know what? Let's go see. I have. All right. We'll compare it to a couple of others, even though they are not Arcana, but. I feel like I have. That one's a flake. Sunstone is more orangey. There's perhaps a Christmas Gourd. Okay. I have Slug Bug and perhaps a Christmas Gourd, as well as I Touch My Shelf. And I'm going to tell you right now, none of them are dupes for it. Let me just get a different ring to put these on. I don't want them on the same ring since they're a different brand. But I think it's useful comparison since those ones are very well known. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a coat of the Volcanicorn. So I'll do one above and one below, so that we're sort of mimicking two coats without having to wait as much time. I'm doing these a little bit sloppy, so they won't be perfect, but we can at least get a vague idea of what it's going to look like in two. So that's Volcanicorn. And then Wildflower Slugbug. A little more orangey. And get the second coat underneath. Hello, Ashley. Welcome. Okay, and then perhaps a Christmas gourd. I'm just doing some comparisons to some non-Arcana reds by request here. But otherwise, we are going over the new Arcana Lacquer Something Magical collection, which is a 12-piece collection that's focused on unicorns. Imaginary unicorns, as opposed to the real unicorns. This is a BCB that I also got as PR. This one is actually a magnetic, but we're showing it unmagnetized, so that is I Touch My Shelf. Okay, so Volcanicorn, you gonna focus up for me? Volcanicorn, Slugbug, perhaps a Christmas gourd, and I Touch My Shelf. So that's Arcana, Wildflower, and BCB. So not quite dupes. Nothing here is quite a dupe. I think Volcanicorn is definitely different from the others. It's probably most similar to I Touch My Shelf, but of course not a magnetic. So yeah, that's the closest non-Arcana dupes that I have, or potential dupes, which I think are definitely not dupes. Within Arcana, I had swatched it next to Lash of Baal. That was just one coat of Lash of Baal. But yeah, you can see it's much brickier. So I think the Volcanicorn here is definitely a unique shade for Arcana. Yeah, the Arcana is a really nice red. I really like it. So this is all two coats, and you know, for some of them I would definitely do a third. I think we can go ahead and do that if nobody's going to fall asleep immediately. So why don't we carry on with that? Jammy Dodgers seems to have sort of, oh, I think that's partly because I was moving my chair around here. Oof. Try and get her a little more focused up in the cat cam there. Of course, I have to perch awkwardly at an angle. But, you know, it's worth it for y'all to be able to see a little bit of Dodgers. Everybody needs a little bit of Dodgers in their life. Yeah, Ashley, Arcana loves to do a 12-piece collection. They're big fans of a 12-piece collection. Yeah, it's my booty cam. Exclusively for my followers. I'm looking for, I don't know where I put it. My last PR box from BCB had some cute little butterfly shaped hair clips in it, you know, like those ones that every kid had. in the 90s, and I was just gonna try and grab them and use them, but now I don't know what I've done with the bloody things, so I guess I just have to cope with my hair being in my face. Okay, right, back at it. Third coat. Trying to remember to keep myself angled so that you can see Jammy Dodgers in the cat cam. She's really dedicated to hiding herself behind that that arm a bit there. Oh, I forgot to put a coat on my thumb as well. Okay, so ignoring this one, that's from a previous collection from them. That's Volcanicorn. That's 3 coats. I think it's a really pretty red. I really like it. Yeah, Jammy Dodgers is very good at sort of scooching herself out of the way. She will spread all her limbs out as soon as I stand up, and then as I'm sitting back down again, she'll sort of yoink everything back in. It's really cute. All right, so that is the 3rd coat of Volcanicorn on my thumb. I do think for short nails, 2 coats is probably fine as long as you're, reasonably careful with application. It is a very dense shimmer, so like I mentioned at the beginning, like a lot of very dense shimmers, it can be a little streaky on the 1st coat. At least I find it's easy for it to be a bit streaky on the 1st coat, but it levels itself out nicely on the 2nd. That might just be me, the way I apply stuff. So this is our 3rd coat of Floracorn, and again, this is one that I think you can definitely get away with 2 coats on this. But I do everything in 3 coats because that's how I like it. It's okay, Ashley. I don't think that cats know about gender, and I personally am not going to be offended by you misgendering my cat. It's fine. I have this problem where in my brain, all cats are girls and all dogs are boys, and so like I have to really work to remember that in fact there are girl dogs and boy cats. It's very difficult for me, so it's weird for me to think of a cat being a boy. Even though I've had male cats before. I don't know. It's weird. All right, 3rd coat of Faericorn. So this is the coolest of our soft pinks. And it almost borders on a lilac. Not quite. Slightly to the pink side. Part of that, of course, is the shimmer, pulling it a little bit cooler, but the base itself is cool as well. And there's our 3rd coat on the nail for that one. And if the light is right, you can see a little bit of visible nail line on that 3rd coat still. It sort of depends on whether the shimmer is covering it up or not. So if you really hate that and you have nails that tend to show a visible nail line, you're gonna want a blurring base for this one. All right, Babicorn. This is the one that has the finer shimmers, the warmer baby pink. So this one, almost the shimmer on it almost has this sort of rose gold kind of vibe to it. I think it's just a yellow orange shimmer. Let me see. Soft yellow to green shimmer is the official description. So I think it's just it being over the pink that kind of gives it a rose gold kind of vibe for me. And this one, I feel like because that shimmer is finer, the application of the shimmer, like the deposition of the shimmer, is a little bit more dense, and so it vibes a little more opaque, even though I think the base is similar in opacity. So that's Faericorn on my index and Babicorn, hello, would you like to focus? Thank you. On my middle. And then Citracorn. This is the grapefruit one. What they were inspired by, grapefruit or citrus unicorns. I think it's very much a tropical beverage of some sort. It's giving mocktail. It's giving umbrellas. A little paper umbrella. A little slice of orange and a maraschino cherry. And that one I had forgotten to apply when I was doing it the first time around, so she goes on the thumb. There we go, 3 coats. This one I think is one of the ones that was pretty opaque even in 2. It's much creamier sort of base to it. So I think most people will be able to get away with 2 coats with it, but... And then Tropicorn. This is the one that, at least in my mind, feels the sheerest in the collection. And I definitely think most people are going to want 3 coats for this one, even though it looks very opaque on the swatch ring. On me, like that's 2 coats on me. Now I did ding it a little bit over here, but that doesn't affect most of the nail. And to my eye, it still feels quite sheer, even in 3 coats. I don't know how much of that is just my aversion to visible nail line, or how much is my coloring. I do have very cool undertones. But yeah, that's 3 coats of Tropicorn. So I think if you are like me and prefer something a little bit more opaque, you might want a blurring base on that one. All right, 3rd coat, Mermicorn, one of my favorites from the collection. This is our unicorn that hangs out with mermaids. It's got some nice flakies in it. It's got a gorgeous silvery magnetic pigment in here. That base is more of a jelly base than more of a syrupy jelly rather than a milky jelly. So when you do it as a cat eye, you're definitely going to have some visible nail line wherever the magnetic pigment has been cleared away, which is why I personally prefer it done in velvet. So this is just 2 coats velvet, and you don't really notice the visible nail line as much. But in cat eye, you really notice it. I just freaking let my magnets smack each other. So I will do a 3rd coat of this on my nail as well, since the magnet is going to have to sit there for a minute anyway. But I feel like if you're doing it in velvet, maybe you don't necessarily need a 3rd one. But for cat eye, I think you definitely want a 3rd coat. We'll just set that there for a minute. And I'll show you, give you a better look at that once it's set a little better. Jammy Dodgers. I gotta figure out a better solution for when she decides to put herself behind me, because cat cam being mostly butt cam is not appealing. Not to me, probably not to you. Perhaps better than no cat cam at all, but certainly not optimal. All right. So that is... You gonna focus? That's 3 coats of the cat eye, Myrmicorn in cat eye versus 2 coats Myrmicorn in velvet, which is why I say that I think that, you know, if you're doing the velvet, you don't necessarily need that 3rd coat. But for 2 coats, I think, or for cat eye, I think most people are going to want a 3rd coat. Clip it to the chair back? Yeah, maybe. I think I'm going to skip the 3rd coat on the wheel for Myrma because as I say, I don't think it necessarily really needs it, and I did do a 3rd coat on my finger. So I think we're okay for that. We'll just move on to the next one. Yeah, I would need to have a different way of attaching it because right now it's on a little bendy tripod, but I think I have some sort of, like, it's got a screw attachment for the bottom as well, so just have to see if I have something that will allow me to attach it to the chair back. That's not a bad idea. All right, next one up, 3rd coat of Stormicorn. The names for these kind of crack me up. I love the concept. I think it's hilarious. I love the idea of Abby and Brandy just sitting around thinking up ridiculous ideas for different kinds of unicorns. And I think it's really cute, the ones that they came up with. So there's Stormicorn in all of its flaky, sparkly glory. This one has more of a teal leaning base, but it's got that purple shimmer in it that pulls the whole thing a little bit cooler. You see a bug? Do you mean the one on my finger? Or do you mean one of the 500 on my walls? Cosmicorn, one of my favorites of the collection, obviously. Because, you know, I love a sapphire, and it's sparkly and hollow and gorgeous. It's got flakes in it as well. I sort of see the flakes as being like little nebulas. Like when you're using a lower powered telescope and all you can kind of see is like a fuzzy discolored area. I think it kind of reminds me of that. I really, really like this one. It's so sparkly. I did not put it on my nails though. For tonight because I only have 10 available nails, and you're not getting feet. You're not getting feet video. Yes, I got new tattoos. They are healing. They are in the hello. You don't want to focus on. Okay. Oh, there you go. Yeah, they're sort of in the crusty, ugly stage at the moment. But yeah, that's my latest tattoo edition. Just had it done. When did I have it done? Was that Friday? I think that was Friday. Very stoked about it. Very happy. Gothicorn, 3rd coat. One of those rare purple polishes to make it to my favorites. Really love this one. Purple jelly, orange red shimmer, black flakes, and hollow microflakes. Super cute. Very vampy. I love it. Thanks, Couch Potato. And also hello. I just realized I didn't say hello to you. Yeah, Rax, these like the magnetics that have like the silver, the sort of metallic looking magnetic pigments are like so intense. They always have a really I forgot to put a did I forget to put a 3rd coat of Cosmicorn on, or of Stormicorn on my pinky? I did, didn't I? All right, let's backtrack briefly. Do a coat of Cosmicorn or Stormicorn. I keep doing that. I keep accidentally calling this one Cosmocorn, and it's not. It's Stormicorn. All right. There's the third coat of Stormicorn on the pinky. And then we'll do third coat of Gothicorn on here. Something about painting this nail in particular, I keep managing to go over the edge here. They are cute tiny bugs, aren't they? Thank you. I think the artist did a good job. Really hoping that they heal well. I know hands are difficult. It's my first hand tattoos, so of course I have plenty of other tattoos, but I've been thinking I should do a tattoo tour one of these days, because I don't know how many I have now. Maybe close to 15? Definitely more than 10. Don't know. A bunch. Okay, this is third coat of Mysticorn in Cat Eye. And I am doing it with the ring magnet on my finger because I think that the cat eye and ring magnet and things like that, those kinds of styles that clear a large area and give you a line of the magnetic pigment, work best for this specific one. I like the velvet better for Myrmicorn, but for Mysticorn, I definitely prefer seeing the flakes coming through because it's got like 7 different colors of flakes in it. And it's hard to really appreciate that with the velvet style for this. So I really like it with it cleared a little more. So I'm using the ring on my finger. But I will show you velvet as well on the swatch ring. Or swatch wheel. I have a velvet one. So do I have a code? No. There is no. They don't do that. I guess I should repeat my disclosure from earlier, though. Now is a good time to do that. Obviously, I did not pay for these polishes. This stream is not sponsored. I'm not being paid to stream them, but I was paid to send them some photos of swatches for their website and socials. So, yeah. But yeah, this part I just do because it's fun. I like doing live streams. All right, so there is Mysticorn in the ring magnet style, which is basically just a swooshier cat eye. And then there's the cat eye version. And you can really see the flakes with these versions. This is the same one in velvet. I've only done 2 coats of that. And you can see, though, that the flakes don't come through quite as well in the velvet. They get covered a little too much. We will do a third coat of the velvet, though. And this one has the hollow magnetic, the same one that they have used before in a bunch of their polishes. There's Shrimp was one of the big popular ones, and the Magician, yeah, Crown of Wildflowers. I think Ray mentioned that one earlier, which is more of a pink. There's also one that I've forgotten the name of that's like sort of a like almost tan kind of. It's a very, very neutral color, a lighter neutral color. But yeah. Okay, and then the last one is Sweetiecorn, which is our neon thermal. The only thermal in this collection. And I expect that they will probably wind down thermals. I know they did a lot of thermals over their last couple of collections, taking advantage of the cooler weather. But it is a challenge to have thermals in the hot weather. They like to die. So, and this one is really interesting because it is a neon. Obviously in its darker phase, in the cold phase, you don't really see the neon so much. It's a little too dark for that, but it is very much neon in the warm phase. I will attempt once again to trip through the woods, walk in the woods, trip through the woods. Yeah, that's the beigey one that I have. Hopefully, there it is. I wonder if I do it like this, can you see? Yeah. Sorry it's blinking, but it's just, it's operating at the wrong frequency for my camera to enjoy it. This black light has issues. There we go. There we go. So you can see that in black light, in the UV, it's sort of orangey, which is fun. And yes, very much a pink when it is warm, but obviously quite a bit darker, more of a magenta leaning purple when it is in the cool phase. And I think there's a bit of I actually suspect that this might almost be a trithermal because it seems to have like a red when it's in between, and I see more of like a reddish tone than a purple tone a lot of the time on my nails when I'm wearing this. And I noticed that when I swatched it the first time around for the photos, that there seemed to be a more red sort of phase to it. But yeah, so that one is Sweetiecorn. Rax, you're going to call it Swoopy Cat Eye now? You're allowed. I don't own that. Jammy. Jammy, you're hiding your cute face from everybody. Why you gotta be so comfy? Anyway, that's all of them. That's it. That's our 3 coats of everything. Were there any other comparisons that anyone wanted to see from any of the other polishes that they've done? Actually, they had what's the name of that other purple one that has the hollow magnetic that's not magician? It's like a lighter purple. One of my skulls just fell down, or one of my skeletons just fell down. Evidently I was thinking of the world, and it is a very different purple, so. Sammy Dodgers. Did I wake you up? I woke you up a little bit. Show everybody your cute, cute face. What a good girl. Yeah, what a good jammies. She's so cute. She's so cute. Yeah, so I think, so the world has the holographic magnetic pigment as well, but again, very, very different from this one. Definitely much more of a violet rather than a lilac. Okay, if there aren't any questions or any other comparisons that anybody wanted, then I will probably call it, because we're getting on toward 10 o'clock. And I need to eat some food. I will give chat a moment to catch up because I know there is a delay. The world is, yeah, it's definitely blurple. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I just wanted to just take a look. I was pretty sure it was quite a bit different, but since they both have the hollow magnetic and they're both purple, doesn't hurt to take a quick peek. All right, gonna call it there. Gonna give you some jammy for a second. The cat's up display. Hey, little Dodgers. You good girl? Yeah, what a good... Oh, no, don't hide your face. Don't hide your face. Just wanted you to lift your face. Yeah, she's a good girl. She's so cute. She's so cute. I love her. All right. Thanks for coming out, everybody. I always appreciate when everybody shows up for these things because it feels weird talking to yourself. As always, if you missed part of it, the VOD will be posted immediately, and you can go back and watch it at 2 times speed and not have to listen to me prattle quite so much and just look at the polish. And once again, these release tomorrow, so that is March 14th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time at arcanalacquer.com. And that's it. That's the stream. All right. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget to do all the clicking of the things that help me and all that good stuff. And we'll see you next week when I think it's going to be a nail art stream, but I don't know what it will be yet. So if you have an idea or something that you want me to do or try, then holler at me. You can comment or whatever. I don't know. There's ways. You know how to get hold of me.